Hello everyone, and welcome to a new stream. This is Mael Duin, and I play puzzle video games and similars. Just similar. It's an adjective, it's singular in English. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 2 p.m. in Australia East. It feels like I'm back. Feels like I've been away since last week was a little bit different. Tuesday, same as today, I was trying to play Phoenix Spring and finish the game, but my internet provider thought differently and connection wasn't working, so I had to cancel the stream. Even though I started it, it wasn't running smoothly. Then on Thursday we played, it was Halloween, we played a scary game. I guess it's a scary game. I am weird when it comes to scares. Like, I get more nervous than get jump scares. At the time, it was like putting together Resident Evil 2 and Silent Hill. I was more of a fan of Silent Hill because it was more like the tension more than, oh, boo, jump scare. It was okay. I didn't really enjoy the game that much because of going in and out. It was strange, a little bit strange stream, but it was a nice experience for the first time. I wanted to try a scary game. Try to keep it within the puzzle environment. Nice try. We'll do better next time, next year, or whenever that happens. I have a not scary game. It's a puzzle game, but the theme is horror. Maybe that's happening soon. Haven't decided. And Friday we had the interview with Berg Games. I had so much fun. All these interviews are very fun because usually it's just me here in the set. It's still just me. They are in their homes, but it's a nice change of pace, or change of, how to put it, like, it feels different. So the whole last week, it felt like different. It's like I feel like I've been away and I am coming back. Hopefully today we can finish Phoenix Spring, and hopefully I can start putting the pieces together, because I want to come to conclusion. So come to start making my own theory and giving it a meaning of everything that's happening in this game. Hopefully we can do that today. Do I have something to tell you? Hope you had a beautiful weekend. I'm editing the interview, so it will be published sometime next week, I believe. I think so, yeah. To be safe, I don't want to say when exactly, but to be safe, because I want to finish this game so badly. I'll go straight into it. Change scenes. Supposed to be starting, yes. Phoenix Spring. Last week, as I mentioned, I couldn't stream because it wasn't working properly, but I started playing the game, I think for 15 minutes or so. So on day 2, which was 2 weeks ago at this point, I was stuck in the oasis, and I explained last week, which there wasn't a stream properly speaking. I explained, but I have to explain again. We are in this oasis in the middle of the desert called Phoenix Spring. We are here exploring, and I no longer know if we are looking for our brother, because that happened. It's the premise of the game, but that already happened. We already found our brother. What we have to do now it's related to this boy. So last week in the accident stream, I roamed around the oasis for a little bit, trying to get something, a rope to pull, and get information and continue the game. I didn't manage in these 10-15 minutes. So what I did is look up the solution or whatever we need to do in the games guide, which is not in game. It's just a link to a website. I don't know how this works in a system that is not connected to the internet, but doesn't apply here. So I looked it up, and we need to bring this boy has kinda. We need him to help us. For that, he needs to recover some information from his memory. He's lost some identity crisis. He's probably in his teens, so no surprise. We need to bring him a melody. That's what I understood. The thing is that we got this melody from somewhere else, like kind of an oracle. And in the process from there to here to tell the boy, this is your song. Iris, which is the main character, she forgets the song. So don't ask me because I don't have the answer for that. But it's strange. And what we needed to do is something which is not intuitive. And because it's not intuitive, I didn't like it. And I said last stream, it's unpublished now, but I'll say again. Our menu, this is a point and click adventure. Our menu is not filled with objects, it's not physical elements, it's filled with words which represent concepts. Like, this is our menu. They are concepts, they are not things like you can have physically in your hand. So we had the Baker Ballad, which is the information we need to give the boy. If we already have it in the menu, it is given to the player that we possess this information in our head. By the time we get here from that oracle, Iris forgets the melody. So when we try to tell him, it disappears from its grayed out like the other terms on the side. It is not intuitive. So what we needed to do to solve this problem, like forgetting the song, is to combine the concept with Iris. And not just do that, we have to do that, I believe it's a couple times. So it's like reminding Iris of the song, which is not explained in the game because it's here, it's in the menu, already in Iris's head. She doesn't have it in her hands, it's all in her mind. So I was stuck because there's no point that there's no way that the player can know this is a nimble or ephemeral concept. There's no way. How do you solve this situation where the character forgets something? It's like I have a a rubber duck in my pocket. By the time I get here, it's dropped. It's dropped somewhere in the along the way, and now I'm missing it. I need to collect another one, but in the process, I'm missing it again. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, not that the game makes much sense to this point. So to continue, then, having said that, we combine this concept, the baker ballad, with the baker boy.
His melody, I hear it, I hum it. We used to play it on the beach, he says. That's the memory I've left below.
We have
Peculiar creature, but I think he knows the way down.
We have restored his memory then, and he went running this way because we need him to help us go through a lift / elevator. Where has this kid gone? Now. To the beach, and it's getting darker again. I'm assuming he's in the... Yes. I'm assuming he is where we need him to be, which is the burned tree. The burned tree is empty, is hollow inside, and the lift is inside the tree, which is here, burned tree. Is he there? It's also dark. Yes, he's here, but you can't see because it's dark over black over black. Black on black. Let's talk to him.
Does he remember now? I remember now, he says.
Sounds like Silent Hill, the
Unnumbered sublevels.
other side.
I notice leaks, unplugged cables. This is legacy technology. Layers built upon layers. Automation without aim. Baker fidgets, gets on my nerves. Can you smell it, he asks. It reeks of the end.
Once we no longer need some concepts like getting into the underground, because we already are, we are losing these terms. We are not going to be using them anymore. So we continue with the silent one, Phoenix Springs, for some reason, even though we are, and Leo Dormer with our brother. What do we have here? This is new to me. Live where we came from. Baker is next screen. What's this thing? This red thing? Pot? Look at the pot.
Discarded like empty bullet casings.
Nothing else.
Discarded like empty bullet casings.
What kind of pots? Resemble coffins.
Haunted, planted on the spot. Scanning the photograph he picked up from the ground. Is that his memory? A photograph? I shouldn't be here, he panics. Why would Mason choose this? I'm leaving for the sea. Off he goes again. Forever indecisive. Bouncing between locations. But the name, Mason, dormant inside of me. I've heard it before. A connection to Leo.
I've heard it before, but I don't remember I think it was at the beginning of the game when we were trying to get to Leo's house or address, the first address we got for him. Screen. And there is a screen, massive screen. Headband, screen, terminal, water.
Like black milk, swarming with electrodes.
Not going to happen.
Droning static, the private made public.
Headband.
Clinical imaging device. Bypasses vocal cords. Coils dig into my temples. Nothing happens. It's connected to the device.
This device, or this device, I guess. Terminal. Terminal. Interesting, it's called terminal. Like it's the end. Where something terminates. It's not a computer, it's a terminal.
A prompt. Begin diagnostic. It wants me to enter a name.
Mason.
It wants me to enter a name.
Let's try with the least probable.
Name not found. Name not found. Why would my brother be up there?
You're asking a rational question, Iris? Don't surprise me at this point.
It wants me to enter a name.
There's only one left.
M-A-S-O-N. Machinery worst. A body is flushed out of engine plumbing.
Mason maybe was one of the statues. When we were looking for the statues, one of them was Mason, I believe.
Mutilated between states. Can we speak? Not like this. It's working. The water amplifies. I am the antenna. We tune into each other's thoughts.
Interesting way to have a conversation. Again,
Focus on our location. The images aren't clear. As if they're memories somewhere. Not willing to be born yet.
not willing to be born.
There is a shape in there. A trace of Leo. It's noisy, imprecise. I might need to reawaken other memories first. Who is the silent one? It doesn't prompt anything. Must be missing parts of the story.
Only one left.
Let's try the person. Mason. The image is fragmented at first. Thoughts congeal. I see it. A faint trace of personhood. Who is the silent one?
Answer me.
No recollection yet. Leo. both know the name. The memory is not quite there yet.
Well, I don't have anything else to work with. Phoenix Spring? Or Mason again? Oh, Phoenix Spring.
It triggers a strong response. I catch a flurry of linked ideas. A worksite. A flood. An architect. The sequence ends abruptly, as if halted.
Flood, worksite, architect. Mason again.
I see it. A faint trace of personhood.
Nothing new. We both know the name.
The memory is not quite there yet.
So Phoenix Springs gave us these three. What about Silent One again?
Who is the silent one? No recollection yet.
Nothing.
This isn't remembering as much as archaeology. I must keep digging.
So asking about the place before the person?
Why is the worksite significant? What happens there? It's unclear. The memory is foreboding. About the flood. It's a dead end. Who is the architect? Hard to determine. I feel like we both know. I sense great tenderness. The vision ends. Who is the silent one? No recollection yet. I must keep digging.
Silent One is me right now. So we asked all these three. This must have given us something to link to either the Silent One or Leo Dormer. Silent One first.
Who is the silent one? No recollection yet.
Now,
I must keep digging.
maybe there's an order. You have to ask in a specific order. So you link,
No recollection yet.
you chain
The name is there,
the
but
thoughts.
it's not part of a sentence.
Architect, flood, work. I'll ask again, but then I'll think this is a sequence. There is an order.
I see it. A faint trace of personhood.
An order in which you spark and connect thoughts. Architect, let me think about the images we've seen. Architect, I think, is the last because it gave us the least information. So maybe it's these two we asked before. Worksite first, then flood. Let's try the opposite.
About the flood.
Or maybe repeating.
It's a dead end.
It's a dead end.
Why is the worksite significant? What happens there? The memory is foreboding. Who is the architect? I sense great tenderness. The vision ends.
Phoenix?
We see the location clearly. Two souls crammed into one skull. It's indecent. Mutilated between states. It wants me to enter a name. Anybody else up there?
We got someone else? The architect, actually. So out of the 3 terms, this is not a person, this is not a person. This is an event. This is a place. This is a person. Referring to a person.
Contorted, twitching. A feverish bad night's sleep. I need the device to reach him.
So picky, Iris.
It's unpleasant in there. Inhospitable. Like a great wall surrounds a vortex, the wall screams for me to crash against it.
So you are the architect?
Can you remember the architect? Barely. An iota of ego. Wrapped up in torturous motion.
Not really.
A memory of Mason. I think I catch a glimpse. It's too zoomed in. I can't sense the perspective or geometry. I focus. It's like another memory traps the light. Too much gravity and mass. Can you remember? No, it's not working. Only wants to be consumed by one thought.
Three missing.
I try. That
To-
shapeless unease.
To no avail.
I feel seasick. I try. Can't get through. No sense of order, chronology, sequence.
One left.
I visualize a worksite. The thought pierces through, unearths buried sediments, accreted over time. It calls for a name, but whose? I try. Can't get through. No sense of order, chronology, sequence.
It calls for a name.
The thought pierces. It calls for a name, but whose?
Are you telling me it's a dead end, or that I have to give you the name? Mason? It's the only
I
name.
see it now. It's too much. The vision trips something. But I extracted it. Missing piece, source of atonement. Mason's accident.
Mason's accident.
It wants me to enter a name.
Not a name,
It
but
wants me to enter a name.
Internet playing funny again. I'll wait until it stops, otherwise. I can continue. I'll be back. See if we can continue until the end. I don't even know where I was. It's asking for a name, but we don't have any neo name. Accident.
I must find its place in Mason's story. I must find its place in Mason's story.
In Mason's story. So out of the architect we got the accident. We can go to Mason then. Why going back and forth?
I bring Mason back out.
So this is Mason
Looks like
again.
we're back to the original loop. The self erased and reframed. The accident. No recollection yet. I must keep digging.
What do you mean? We're asking Mason about his own accident.
Why is the worksite significant? What happens there? No recollection yet. I must keep digging. About the flood. No recollection yet. I must keep digging.
At this stage, I'm going to do all combinations.
Who is the architect? No recollection yet. I must keep digging. Who is the silent one? No recollection yet. I must keep digging. We rebuild the memory from the ground up. It starts with a person, Mason. I see it. A faint trace of personhood. The accident. No recollection yet. I must keep digging. I see it. A faint trace of memory is not quite there yet. I still need to reawaken other memories.
I'm lost again. We got the accident. We need to dig into this accident in Mason's memory because you, in this black pool, are Mason. But we are asking him about the accident. Nothing happens.
Let's remember the oasis. We see the location clearly. Always triggers the same ideas. A worksite. A flood. An architect. Who is the architect? I sense great tenderness. The vision ends. We see the location. About the flood. It's a dead end.
If I leave to watch the screen, Iris removes the helmet, the headband.
Mutilated between. Drag the body out. Bad idea.
And we don't have any new names. We only have two names. Right, Leo. It's the third name, but
Name not found. Why would my brother be up there?
he's not here.
It wants me to enter a name. It wants me to enter.
I know.
It wants me to.
Unless there is a sequence again used.
Looks like we're back to the original loop. The self erased and reframed.
So Phoenix Spring,
Let's remember the oasis.
that brings up the memory and it's clear. Well,
No recollection yet.
kinda clear.
I must keep digging.
What do you mean, no recollection? You were talking about this before?
Let's remember the oasis. No recollection yet. I must keep digging. The memory is not quite there yet. I still need to reawaken other memories. Mason. I see it. A faint trace of personhood. Let's remember the oasis. We see the location clearly. Always triggers the same ideas. A worksite. A flood. An architect. Why is the worksite significant? What happens there? The memory is foreboding. About the flood. It's a dead end. Who is the architect? I sense great tenderness. The vision ends. The accident shouldn't be survived. Life hangs by a thread, and yet the thread is respun. It is rebirth.
So there is a sequence. And Iris says the sequence. You need to ask about Phoenix Spring, but not Phoenix Spring alone. First you need to ask about Mason and then Phoenix Springs. Otherwise it doesn't work. After that, Mason recollects the flood, the worksite, and the architect. But in one specific order, which is worksite, flood, then architect. After this sequence, you can ask about the accident, and then it gives you rebirth. So let's continue from there.
The procedure. All these people around Mason. Our lives become entangled. That's why I'm in the room, covering it for the newspaper.
Biologist, geneticist, surgeon, and reporter.
We focus on the person, but nothing is clear. Do we know who it is? Vagueness. The surgeon, ambition beyond belief. Name and face excised for a reason. A strange mirror. Memories of me that aren't my own. Is that all they see? Is that all I am? Who is it? We can't unlock the memory. Who is it? Can't unlock the memory.
Might be a sequence again.
The surgeon, ambition beyond belief. Name and face excised for a reason. Is that all they see? Is that all I am? We focus on the person,
But
nothing is clear.
so this is not.
Remember now, something happens to me here. I become broken. An engine that only produces one question. But it is me. The reason his name lives on, I ask about Leo endlessly.
And bye-bye.
See the full picture. But I know exactly where to find it.
It. Where to find it? Inside the water.
It beckons. How long have we been doing this? Years, decades, millennia.
So I need to ask. Talking to myself.
Leo Dorma, my little brother. This is the night I find him. After so many years apart. The night I learn everything about him. How he turned his life around. How he became a new man. How he made plans for the end. He's expecting me. An old man on his last breath. He says he can't recognize his I still had the chance.
What can I say at this point?
Our documented history. It's nice someone kept copies. Saved trinkets, heirlooms, valuables. Mostly photos.
We are in an island now. Towers.
Power, communication. A self-contained world.
And there are two people. Beach. Baker. Rowboat. Only one turn.
Somebody got what they wanted.
They went to the sea.
He asks if I feel better. Heard sobbing in the cabin. I'm fine, I tell him. I used to call it rainwater, he says. It would cheer up my granddaughter. A little rainwater never hurt anyone. I study the strangely lucid person next to me. Realise I've no idea who or what they are. And that, for a brief moment, it's the lucidity that matters. Rivers, tears, the sea, he says. It's all the same stuff anyway. Water's a closed system. Sometimes revealed. Sometimes hidden away.
I need a moment. I need a moment, but at the same time, I don't need it because I don't have anything to process. Really. I missed someone at the end. In this island, there were two people. I talked to the baker boy, but there was someone else at the back. I don't think that person holds the explanation for all this. Before I go into the second go, I'll give it a second go since we have time and we know what to do and where to go exactly. We can. I don't know if it'll help even rewatching the same again because it's not like, oh, I think I missed something here aside from the person at the end. It doesn't feel like those movies you need to rewatch again and again to understand it. It's like there is a big revelation at the end, and then when you rewatch it, you see it with different eyes. Like knowing that now I see this different, but there's no big revelation at the end, or that's how I feel. It's similar situation to how I felt similar, but not the same. And I don't know how to explain the difference. When we played Underground Blossom slash The White Door, but more like Underground Blossom. It's like this world which is very suggerent, like suggests very imaginative, like putting things together that they don't belong next to each other. How can I explain something ethereal? It's similar feeling, but in Underground Blossom, all these elements, like the crow in crow person, anthropomorphic crow in an underground, and all these characters, like they look like they came up from a dream. They look very, very random. In here, I don't have that feeling, but it's like splashing things and they are not connected. And it mixes grounded and things based on reality with other things that are like dreamy, psychological. I even feel like I'm lacking the language to explain it. So it's been 1 hour. We still have two. We can give it a second go and see if there are new things. I don't think there's anything new. Or there will be nothing new. I'll try to get to the end again and talk to the other person that I missed. If I don't get it today, I'll let you know in future stream what happened. If something happens, if there's any revelation, and definitely I'll be um, looking for information online to fan theories to see what other people think about, because I didn't understand anything. Nothing. I understood nothing. Is this a dream? Is an alternative reality? Am I my brother? I was another person? What has to do with biology and genes? Am I inside my brain? Am I actually looking for my brother? Do I have a brother? All these other people, so weird, this place, which is, I think it's not a place in the world, but I was expecting some big revelation at the end that never came. Maybe that's the most disappointing thing of the game, that I was looking for the key and I never found it. I found no key. I'm still locked and in the dark in this game. I like the aesthetics, I like the theme, the world building, to say, but I wished it had a meaning, or it made sense, even it's slightly, even if I don't comprehend everything and every little detail, but I am left abandoned. And I don't think the missing person, the person that I missed talking to, is going to change this opinion. Still very interesting game. Couple of wrong design decisions. First one is hiding the 101. 101, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary to go through the process of finding out the rocks are in the shape of 101 because they are hidden. If they were visible, maybe I would understand. But if you are giving me an abstract and you are hiding it behind the curtain, how can I see what's behind the curtain? You're only showing the tip. I didn't like that. And the second one is the Baker song, or the Baker melody. Having to remind ourselves of something that we already have in our mind, which is the inventory. If we already possess this concept, why do we have to reinforce it? In the gameplay perspective, it's jarring. It's like a friction with the player there. That's why I feel I got stuck those 2 times. And lucky I realized at the end when talking to the people in the black pool that you need to ask for things in an order, specific order. Otherwise, I'll still be there asking for and finding out by chance. Like, I've asked so many times that one of the times I followed the sequence. Let's go back with what we know, which is not much more. I don't even know if it's a conceptual game. Like here, we're in a train that goes through the desert, but are we actually in a train? We know that we are not physically in a train going through the desert, but we don't know if we are in a bed sleeping and we are inside our dream. We don't know if alternatively, we are connected to a machine that is inducing this dream or these thoughts. Are we exploring our own thoughts or someone else's thoughts? All these questions, they are not answered. not asked. They are not answered throughout the game. And if they are, they went past me.
Endless, desolate, rickety old thing. I remember now. Leodorma. My little brother. This is the night I find him.
Now it looks like this is the only real part in the whole game. This is the night I find him. We are in what looks like an apartment. Mirror. Look at the
Actually, a
mirror.
video feed. Harvesting data, I'm sure. That doesn't help me find him.
There were some documents here, but look for Leo. How was this? I don't even remember.
Nothing. Shows how close we were as siblings. Government issued. I can search my personal files, plus a few public databases. An archive of my published articles. The ones rescued from the censors, anyway. I mainly covered technology. His name never came up.
Like she's a reporter, but what does it has to do with the visions at the end?
This lot holds my official documents. Houses change, the paperwork remains. Our guardian's death certificate is in there. Mentions an address where Leo lived at the time. Leo Dormer, residing at 17 Tybao Street. Good start. But I have no idea where that is.
Now we look for this in the computer. Sorry, not a computer. Terminal. It's not a computer.
I load a map of the city. There.
Now I can finish the game in 15 minutes.
It's in the new territories. Barking dogs, broken bottles, that kind of neighborhood. Didn't expect any better from Leo.
So we went to the intercom first. Let's go to this side first now. And the kid... Talk to the kid.
I venture a few questions. Conversation proves difficult. I'm not sure we speak the same language. Or maybe he has no interest in talking to me. I explain I'm after my brother. Does the name sound familiar? I don't think he gets the question. Number 17. What does he know about it? No idea what I mean. Maybe more questions later.
So we go to the intercom first. I don't think this other person gave us anything.
I attempt to gain his attention. He's in no state to help.
So we need to talk to the intercom person. Anyway, use it.
I press the button. A crackle. Smoker's voice on the other end. Angry old man. He sounds divided. Shout at a stranger to scram. All good excuse for a rant. I switch on the reporter charm. Ranting it is then. So what happened next door? He sighs. A few years ago, the landlords hired a company to renovate it. They never completed the job, and the place was left to rot. Is that why it's boarded up? No, he says. The orphans are to blame. They set up camp next door. They rummage through bins, break into empty properties, even try to sell him his own rubbish after he throws it out. Scavengers, he calls them. No good scavengers. Could they be selling items found at number 17? Of course, he says. They'd sell you their own mothers if they could. Not that they have any, I say. No response.
With this
I thank him for
information,
his time. Be careful out there, he says. I've never been above digging through rubbish. But this is empty.
sofa was here, but I didn't do anything with the sofa.
No. That won't help me find them.
So we ask this to these other people. We ask about the scavenged items.
I take great care to ensure he gets the point. Number 17, you find me.
You, me,
Buying.
together.
A light is switched on. He reaches into his bag, revealing worthless junk. A bundle of pens, elastic bound, rusty motherboard, ancient photo frame, chipped wood, slim pickings. I toss him a coin for his trouble.
And with the through the pens,
I think he's done. He just waves at the objects on the ground.
through the
Got to
pens
admire
we go to the
salesmanship.
university. Pens, look at.
A bundle of branded pens. Says ULS on them. No need.
Don't we?
It's made of wood. Chipped varnish. Nothing unusual. Definitely bricked. I would need a good reason.
Somehow we get the address for the university here.
Renovators? Builders? I don't think he gets the question. The owners of the house next door. Does he know them? No idea what I mean. I asked already. He doesn't seem to know. I asked. He doesn't. I think he's done. He just waves at the objects on the ground.
Interesting combination.
A bundle of branded pens. Says ULS on them.
It says ULS, but you don't get the concept?
No need. Says 17 on it. I peer inside. Empty. Yes.
The answer is yes.
Padlocked. Pile of household debris. The usual trinity. Bed frame, broken lavatory, dirty mattress. Presumably their handiwork. Boarded up.
And we went back here. Fence, gate, intercom.
Maybe a few more questions. The old man picks up. Got nothing better to do, he says.
We have to end up with the university.
The landlords. He's never met them, but wouldn't mind a word or two about the mess. What can you tell me about the renovating company? Wouldn't hire them myself, he says. I'd rather avoid another rant. He told me about the mess left by the renovators. Orphans picked the house clean. They might sell me what they scavenged. I explained that my brother used to live at number 17. The name rings a bell. They didn't interact much, but had been on good terms. Leo helped the old man carry a bed frame upstairs when he moved in. Solid wood, too. He also recalls a gathering to celebrate Leo's university enrollment. Is he certain? About the university part? Yes, he says. A local university, although he can't remember which.
Should have asked
Leo
this
moved
before,
out soon
maybe?
after and was never seen again. But he was very proud of that, becoming a student so late in his life.
And with the intention to ask for the university, we find out that the ULS is
It says ULS on them.
the university.
The old man mentioned a 3-letter university name. Long shot, but worth investigating.
So we go back and remind him or her, old man, remind him of the ULS.
I really doubt there's a link there.
Iris, it's meant for the guy, for the old man, not for the actual intercom,
I mentioned the initials.
if I have to explain.
Do they sound familiar at all? ULS, he says. That's the University of Life Sciences.
And here we
I
are.
remember reading about it. Some riots halted construction a few years back. The building now appears simultaneously demolished and incomplete.
And the most important thing in here was here on the left. Maybe I am kind of speed running, but I want to get to the point. Look at this memo. You're not going to do anything
A
now.
faded printed note. Statue project led by Dormer. Proposals by Friday. I can read it.
So nothing for now. We have ULS, Leo, and still the address for some reason. Even though we are here. Use the door. Open the door, please. Iris, for me. In here, we have a few things. Memos.
2 copies of the same memo. One more faded than the other. Terminal blacklist, students protest. Anderson A, Ange L, Betty G, Chopra D, Chun L, Dama W, Do L, D. The rest is illegible. Reading them is enough.
Locker.
Looks like it's been emptied.
Nothing. We got this model. We got a few
Small-scale version of the
concepts
university
from
includes a
here.
statue of a torch-wielding man. There's a quote on the miniature plaque, so that society may gain wisdom as fast as science gathers knowledge.
Still nothing.
Yes, albeit 10 times smaller.
Poster?
A sketch of a statue. Some kind of insect playing the harp. Someone annotated it with a red pen, suggesting the design was approved. The same person also penned a playful acrostic. B is for brilliant. I is for intellectuals. O is for of. E is for exponential. T is for ta. There used to be more, but the ink has bled.
Still nothing? No new concept.
A sketch of an insect playing the harp. Someone penned an acrostic that spells B-I-O-E-T. Unknown spilt liquids.
We don't have the concept of bioethics yet to work with. I know we got a few things out of these elements, plus the memo outside, but they are not appearing yet.
Nothing helpful there.
Because this is the 4th week, so I started playing a month ago. Graffiti didn't do anything, there was nothing in these lockers, terminal, scanner printer, nothing. I'm impressed, surprised.
Unfinished project.
There was this projector with information, but we needed to come with a concept to use with the projector.
A notice about parking vehicles. Some content is missing. Final notice. Vehicles without authorized, forcibly removed from the please ensure necessary before parking outside the temporary address forwarding. Biochem, 7A Market Street. Biophysics, 64 Signmakers Yard. Ecology, 86 Keshwang Place. Ethics of Biology, 341 Belvedere Heights. Virology, 65C Crofton Place. Please confirm with office before.
So it's this one, this slide. Now we need to come with bioethics, and then we get the address. And here's the library, which again, we need to come with the concepts. We don't have any yet.
I'm investigating my brother's link with the place.
He was a teacher. Of bioethics. Or ethics of biology. Bikes. How was this called? Don't remember. This creature. Graffiti.
I don't get it.
Phage. Necrophage. Something like that.
attention. Hard to keep it for long. Music's blaring. She slurs her words, won't stop moving. From what I gather, she's been dancing for 56 hours straight. All of them have. It's her event, she explains. Insomnia, a monthly gathering. Like-minded folks testing the limits of sleep deprivation. No stimulants, she says. Just music and light. Kids these days. Anyway, time for questions. Why did she choose the university? I thought it was a church, she says. She doesn't need to be asked about that. I ask if the name sounds familiar. It does not.
Nothing else.
Okay. That will do for now.
We got nothing. I must be missing something here because we got few concepts in here. Maybe a combination of actions.
A small-scale version of the university includes a statue of a torch-wielding man. There's a quote on the miniature plaque, so that society may gain wisdom as fast as science gathers knowledge.
So this one of the things I never one of the things I never understood. At the entrance of the university, there's a place for like a pedestal for a statue, like a podium. Which one of these two was supposed to be built? The one with the man wielding the torch or the insect?
Filled with junk. Nothing helpful there. I'm not touching that. Why? Reading them is enough. Yes, and? University student protest. Yes. Obvious connection, but what of it?
Well, I know there's something here.
They've been emptied.
We've been through
Same
this.
old model as mine.
Ah.
Nobody bothered stealing it.
I have to inspect everything again.
An alphabet of sorts. Maybe it's just abstract. Several parked two-wheelers must belong to the partygoers.
I remember exploring the outside, maybe that's what I'm missing.
Not much I can do with it. Says ULS. Abstract logo. Sure, there's a link. But that doesn't help me much.
And here we need to come with the concept of the insomnia, because that's what the game was showing.
Must be advertising the party inside. Nothing usable there. Say no to the new lab. I don't get it. Doesn't seem to be wired to anything. How?
It's interesting that I know what to do and where to get information, but how do I start? I don't remember.
No idea what it says. Tipped on its side, rusting. I wonder why it was brought here. I don't get it.
Wait, one of the documents said Leo Dormer. This terminal blacklist memo. It mentions Leo Dormer.
Not his full name, but some initials match. Can't track down all the students, but I should investigate the protest.
Thank you. Student protest. Now I have to combine this with everything.
Can't connect the two. That won't help me learn more about it. I can't quite connect the two.
You will. Or you would if you tried. Here first. I don't think it has to do with the tip bus, but
The result of violence? Maybe.
no. And this is with the insomnia. Oh, but there are two posters.
Is that what the students protested? Maybe a clue.
Lab. I don't think it has. This is the insomnia thing. Lab.
Nothing to do with the lab. Both unfinished projects. That's about it.
Now we ask the DJ about the protest and the lab. Talk to.
Maybe a few more questions, even if it seems like a lost cause. Does she know anything about a lab? Evidently not. The state of the place. A violent protest would explain it, right? I guess so, she shrugs. Already mentioned the protest. She has no idea.
I want to go back. Nothing with the slide of the library. We have a lab and student protest.
I don't think the statues were meant for the new lab. Sadly, the rooms are unlabeled. Hard to tell if the lab was built. Plans for a statue, not a lab.
Maybe it was
That would make sense. I'm already following that lead.
another slide. This way. With the lab, what could we do with the lab?
Hard to tell which department required a new lab. Confirming that information could help. I doubt these are student addresses.
Let me check all the other slides.
This one is upside down, following last week's. All purchased equipment. That won't get me far.
The lab.
Nothing to do with the lab. Please ensure you necessary preparations. The event could be the protest. Not much of a lead.
Or maybe not. Go back. Parking and addresses. And here we need to come with solid information. I mean, solid. Their concepts. U for ULS bookcase. Oh, I need to explore every, so she says the letters.
X, Y, and Z for zoology mostly. Books on immunology mostly. I to J section.
I'm looking for the U.
G and H for histology. Whatever that is. Looks like the bookcases are not in alphabetical order. M to N. Books on molecular stuff and nano things.
Nano things.
O for optogenetics. P for pharmacology. So much non-digital data. Books on topics starting with E or F. Loads on ethics and ethnography.
That's that. This we don't know.
Q to R. A large section on quantum physics. Structural, synthetic, and systems biology. All topics found in the S-T sections.
It's going to be the last one.
K and L. Mostly for kinesiology. Most of the books in here must be forbidden by now. Explains why nobody raided the place. AB. Animal rights, biology, and a large section on bioethics.
We'll come back to that.
The C to D section. Books on cell and developmental biology.
Where was the U? C, D, A, B, S, T, Q, R, K, L, E, F, O, P, M, N, G, H, I, J, X, Y, Z. There was no U, V, W. So no ULS. I have a small break. I'll be back. Let's see where we can find student protest and lab. These two, they didn't say anything.
Should I ask her something? No, she's too far gone. I salute him. No response.
What about trying concepts with Iris?
University student protest. I might learn something from it. I believe students protested the construction of a new lab. Let's see where that leads.
L for lab. L for lab. Lab.
It's too vague to be referenced.
Solid information. These are addresses.
Addresses to forward mail to various departments.
What was it? Now I can't complain because I've been through this. Two concepts, lab and student protest. Had to do with the flags. I remember checking up the flags.
I'm surprised they didn't tear it down. I'm surprised they didn't tear it down. I'm guessing it was never built. Is that what the students protested? Maybe a clue. Say no to the new lab. I'm supposed to say no to it.
Wait, maybe it's none of these two. It's one of these two. L for Leo. In the library, I remember checking but not finding anything. Or there was like an alias. L again at the back. It's always the last one. And the farthest. L for Leo.
L for Leo is a long shot. But no.
Taibao Street is not a forward address.
Luckily it's not there. Would have thrown me for a loop. Yes, and? If only I could attach one of the addresses to his name. salute him. No response. Passed out. I assume he was manning the projector.
Manning. Play the DJ. Maybe I didn't try hard enough.
I wave. No response. Everyone is lost in their own worlds. My editor used to have a rule for that. Never wake up a stranger comfortable enough to fall asleep on the floor. There are eyes on this one, that much I can tell. Don't want to stare at it too long. Booming, pulsating. Arcane tech to me.
Arcane tech.
Body rolling, eyes closed. She knows I'm staring. Doesn't stop her from dancing. Maybe a few more questions, even if it seems like a lost cause. Already mentioned the protest. She has no idea. Tried already. She's clueless. Already asked. She didn't even know it was a university.
She's not a student.
She doesn't need to be asked about that. Tried already. She's clueless.
I remember it was here, but I don't know how.
A faded printed note. Statue project led by Dormer. Proposals by Friday.
Leo Dormer.
Led by a certain Dormer. This has to be a coincidence. Or is it? I wonder what the statue project is.
I could have done this in the beginning. Dormer statue project. And there are 2 statues here. Which one is?
Part of Dormer's project. The statue does stand out. The quote might also lead me somewhere.
And then Dormer statue project with
This
this.
must be one of the proposed designs. Was my brother the Dormer in charge of the project? Did he approve it? The symbolism might be significant. The acrostic could also be a clue.
Now we can go to the library. I don't intend in this second playthrough to find like everything that I missed. I just want to have a second quick run to remind myself of the overall, but kind of with it's a rather short game. I kind of know, but maybe now knowing what's at the end, I can link it to the beginning. B for bioethics. And I want to get to the other person that I missed.
It must spell bioethics. I browse several publications on the topic. One catches my attention. Academic paper on toxic fungi, military operations, weaponized mycotoxins by Amrita Thomas. But it's the endorsement on the back cover that stops me in my tracks. A quote by Leo Dormer, PhD, author of Sinking the 30 Oars Ship. Professor of Bioethics and Ethics of Biology.
Same. Bye bye. Amarita. Where is the A? It was around here. Oh, I'm in front of it.
Yes, her book is here. I've browsed it. No valuable clues. Leo blurbed her book on toxins and ethics. I wonder how close they are.
What do we have new? Statue project. Man with torch. Wisdom quote. Marita insect. 30 hours ship. Maybe it's E for ethics. Oh, come on.
E for ethics, yes. Strangely, nothing on ethics of biology.
So I don't have anything else to search in here. What else could we connect? The statues? What did it say here?
Temporary address forwarding. Biochem, 7A Market Street. Biophysics, 64 Signmakers Yard. Ecology, 86 Keshwang Place. Ethics of Biology, 341 Belvedere Heights.
That was it.
Please
No need to
confirm.
know anything else. Iris. Ethics of biology.
No mentions of bioethics.
But ethics of biology?
But there is an address for the Ethics of Biology Department. 341 Belvedere Heights. I expect it might lead me to a colleague or fellow professor. But this is Leo's home.
And it says Belvedere Heights. I don't think this is how you spell Belvedere. I can be wrong, absolutely, but I think it's B-E-L-L. Bell, like beautiful. Bella Vedere.
I tap the screen. Who are you visiting today?
Amarita.
Amrita Thomas. It didn't work. No, it will be a name of some kind.
of some kind. All this about the statue, and in the end, it's not used. Leo.
Visiting Leo Dormer. Please use the authentication panel. My fingers slide into metallic slots. The machine drills. Genetic match.
Genetic match. Maybe we are the same person. Let's get inside, no need to look at the door.
No answer. It's unlocked.
He's sleeping.
I make my presence known. The call is met with complete silence.
Statue? Oh, we lost insect with harp, which is similar to this. Look at note. Look at the note.
It reads, now death threats. Wiping footprint. Uncle L in panic room. Signed M.
Signed M. Could be Mason.
Marble musical instrument. Looks antique. 2 series of numbers are engraved. 6998 and 4543.
We could go here. I don't think this is for anything, but I remember getting a lot of concepts in the living room with this computer. And the 2 books.
No books of hers here. Incomplete unity. I picture a lover of the how and the why. An engulfing mind that tripped over its might and ignored what's done in favor of what's. Interesting invoices. Cleo runs a lucrative business as a bioethics consultant. Clients include government bodies, law enforcement agencies. No specifics about the services provided.
This terminal was giving us a lot of
Leo's
terms.
original university application, titled Why Bioethics Matter. They liked it so much that it was printed in the university newspaper.
His first publication.
One file. A blueprint of the house. No results. Back to the error message.
Should go in order.
Leo's original university application, titled Why They Liked It.
Okay. So this one, which is the artwork.
No results. Correspondence with the university board. An incomplete draft grabs my attention. Leave of absence. I am showing growing concern, less for my deteriorating health than the influence held by indoctrinated parents over the university board.
And nothing else. Let me try this because I know there
I
are
can finally read it.
2 books in here.
2 books with his name on them. Immortal.
you.
Fossils, ancient myths and beliefs, viewed through a modern scientific lens. Sinking the 30 Oars ship, preempting the shortcomings of the biohacking revolution. Immortal morals, ancient myths and beliefs, viewed through a modern scientific lens. Sinking the 30 Oars ship, preempting the shortcomings of the biohacking revolution. I'm certain bioethics and biohacking are linked, but not sure how that helps me.
And we were doing this because there's a locked door downstairs. And we need to bring 3 answers to unlock the door. And then there was the statue. Oh, and there was this story about this like a god or some
That thing again. Abstract.
myth of character. This door. Just can't go faster.
I try knocking. No answer. The panel will open it.
Then use it.
It wants a password, of course. The word password. That's not the password.
And we know it's not the number. We got the number. The number was not. But now I'm wondering, I believe we have to do it wrong so it gives us the input of the 3 questions. So panel password is sculpture.
Numbers could be a password.
We get this concept. And then we try it as a password, which we know is not the answer. And then it asks for the questions.
I have a good feeling about these. But no. Not even with different combinations.
No questions.
Digital keyboard, prompting me for a password.
Amarita.
Maybe she knows the password. Maybe she is the password. I have exceeded the number of possible attempts. But I now have the option to reset the password. Security question 1 out of 3. First published piece. I assume it means Leo's first book.
It's not about the book. It's the uni application.
Nothing.
Which one was the answer to
One file. A blueprint of the house.
This one.
Titled Why Bioethics Matter. They liked it so much that it was printed in the university newspaper.
That's the first publication.
They did publish it in the university newspaper.
So we can use them.
It was called Why Bioethics Matter. Okay, one down.
What else?
Security question 2 out of 3. Mother's birthday. I know that one. There. Nice of Leo to finally include her in his life. Security question 3 out of 3. Grasshopper lover. No idea what it means. And it's not even a question.
And this has to do with the myth of grasshopper lover.
Nothing for grasshopper. The keyword lover returns one file. Incomplete eulogy.
Which has to do with the statue.
A grasshopper. Maybe the insect is meaningful after all. Doesn't appear on the screen. Incomplete eulogy. Doesn't appear on the screen. Written in her honor. That's all I can establish.
How did we get the lover? With the numbers?
No reason to believe they're linked. Antique secretary desk. They're expensive.
No, and we try with the books.
Nothing about insects in the index.
What about the other book?
Can't see it referenced anywhere. Could be a book title. No, I can't see anything that comes close.
Let me try with the other harp downstairs. It was Titus or something like that.
Is there a link? I feel like I'm missing something. Same instrument, but not much of a clue. I should keep searching.
What did this?
It reads, now death threats. Wiping footprint. Uncle L in panic room. Signed M.
No, it was there, and nothing to do with the pod.
The number of ores seems to match, but that doesn't help me much.
We are working with 2. The grasshopper lover and insect with heartbeats. Oh, this is the insect, and this is the lover, the insect lover. Immortal morals. How did we get the lover? Name of the lover. It was Tithus something. Or something similar.
Statue plaque draft number 1. Incomplete wish, robbed of humanity. Metamorphosis, music playing insect. Myth of Tithonus. So that's who the insect represents.
That is the insect, not the lover.
The insect represents Tithonus. Could I be looking for his lover?
So we search for Tithonus.
It brings up the plaque draft. He's the insect then. I'm certain that's him.
And what about the books?
The name is indexed. Cursed lover of Eos, goddess of the dawn. Begged the gods to grant him eternal life. Yet forgot to ask for eternal youth. Often represented as a cicada or grasshopper. Grasshopper. Lover of Eos. That must be it.
That is the third answer. And then we go to Phoenix Spring.
I enter the answer. Grasshopper lover. Eos. This is the night I find him. Leodoma. My little brother, an old man on his last breath. He begs me not to go. The words ring like a curse. Iris, he says. Don't go to Phoenix Springs.
I just realized it's her little brother, but looks like triple the age. I just
He
realized.
warned me about this place. Yet here I am.
In the picture, in the photograph, a kinda similar age. Like none of them are even 10. And now that I'm thinking here, we need to go here and ask for the 101. But what was this then? This ladder with the radio at the top? And this is the boy, the baker. Yes.
I point at the sign. Is this the stop for Phoenix Springs? Is that such a crime, he asks. To change my mind, I don't know what to say to that. How do I get there? Why would I go back, he asks. Maybe I'll find it
Well, but it's not about you. It's my will.
I ask about my brother. His eyes roll at the mention. That name again he sighs. Wherever I stand, he says, no matter what I do, there's forever a crying one asking about neo-noir. I press him. There's crying ones everywhere, he says, with a dismissive wave of the hand. What did he mean by a crying one? He says he's had enough wailing to last him a lifetime. Plenty of cries, he says, past the 101.
We can move forward now.
Strange combinations of words declaimed like idioms, like I should know what he means.
Of course, you should. Of course, you should. On your second playthrough, you should.
Enough for the time being. But he has a question for me. Will I join him? When he goes to the sea? I study his eager, anguished face. Maybe I lie. This appeases him somehow.
Maybe there are two endings. Because I chose to join him. Hopefully we find out this time. Now that we know what the 101 is. Now I understand how the game can be 2 hours or even 15 minutes. 101.
Something about this specific formation.
Loading the whole Phoenix
It
Springs.
resembles the 3 numbers.
Truly it doesn't, Iris. Don't convince yourself. Truly it
This
doesn't.
is how I make it to the oasis.
That's not a 0. And the other on the side, they are not even a 1.
Green crater in the heart of the desert. It's gravity.
Pulling you in.
It pulls me.
Bye-bye concept. So we are now back in our first visit to Phoenix Springs. Now we don't have to talk to everyone. The thing is that I don't remember what we had to do here. Because it didn't make sense. I'm not good at remembering the abstract. I'll do one loop without talking to anyone. See if I can remember what we were supposed to do. So many scenes, so many things to look at and talk about, and none of them are for anything. Humming woman. Not yet. Not you. Oh, it had to do with the statue. So we're looking for someone. Maybe you.
Disheveled, begging for attention. In the city, he'd be feeding pigeons. He inquires first. What happens when you place a mirror in front of another mirror? I don't know. Some kind of infinity. You have 2 mirrors, he says. The thought tickles him. He giggles. Don't know why I expected wisdom. Maybe it's the tree. He giggles. One of many confusing conversations here. My interlocutor can volunteer information. My information doesn't quite reach them.
It was not this one. Burn tree. No, here's where the lift was. Buckets. Not.
Filled with rotting fruit. Stacked head high, pyramid-like.
No, that's for the second visit. Oh, it was a girl who was around next screen. I'm starting to remember because this was 2 weeks ago. Not you. Not you. Nothing here. Village. You maybe? Something to do with you? This one. Crying girl. Talk to.
Is she okay? Can I help? I'm sorry, she says, like a child who disappointed her parents. What for? I don't remember, she sobs.
Crying one?
Can she tell me anything about herself? Anything that could help? It's like it doesn't print, she says. I have all this knowledge in my head, but it doesn't print correctly. Someone around here asked about Leo Dormer. Does she know him? It's possible, she says without much conviction. I don't feel great about pressing her, but this is crucial. It backfires. She breaks down. I'm going under soon, she says, and I can't remember my own name. I can't remember my craft. I can't even remember what I look like anymore. She's the best lead I have so far. I must jolt her memory.
Okay, that was it. Crying one name, crying one appearance, crying one craft. Okay, what's your name?
Any pointers? Initials? Nothing.
Craft?
What does she mean by craft? She answers with another question. Why did they have to make the words so ugly, she asks. I'm unsure what she means. They replaced my instructions, so I had to burn them, she explains.
Okay, that's something.
That's why I don't remember, she says. I don't remember what I'm supposed to do.
Appearance?
I describe her features. Slender frame, shoulder-length hair. No, she protests. That's all wrong.
I remember you got someone to draw it on the ground, on the sand, so I'm not worried about this one. For the instructions?
Okay, I should take it easy on her.
Yeah, you do. You get it from the chimney.
If she did burn them in there, the evidence is gone.
I think it's on the previous one with the guy. I don't remember what she was. Her craft. This one, cabin. Burnt instruction. I think they were there.
I run my hand through paper-thin cinders. There is also paper in there. Erdnach. Step 1, illegible. But that must be the instructions.
What's this?
Found on a burnt piece of paper. Could be the instructions. I should ask.
Let's ask. Next. Cabin. And the masks and the models of these houses. We didn't do anything with that. Erdnach, crying girl. Yes, Edna.
Found a
Nice.
burnt piece of paper. Erdnak was written on it. Such an ugly word, she complains. It sounds demonic, like an incantation. So she knows it. I'm supposed to make it, she says, but I don't know what it is. Right track. I should find out what it means.
If we go back to the statues, there was someone who drew the her face in the sand, but we need to come with a name, which was Mason. Not here. This way. Statues. Was this one?
A headless builder brandishing a trowel. The plinth has been defaced. What remains are 3 letters, S-O-N.
Mason. And what was this one about?
Anonymous figure, clutching scrolls or blueprints of some kind.
The architect. And then the doctor and the chemist.
I recognize a vial. The rest fell apart. Sanitary clothing, surgical mask, skull cap. The eyes are remarkably lifelike. Another vandalized inscription. I can make out the last 3 letters, E-O-N.
E-O-N. Pigeon.
How is that a clue?
How is that amusing? That person is not here. Maybe have to wait for that to happen. I think I need to uncover the Mason thing first. I don't remember who gives us that.
I ask if she's okay. She shoos me away. You're making me forget the tune, she says.
This gardener wasn't very friendly. I don't think they gave us anything. You gave us something. I think.
He asks why is it so hard to get a straight answer these days. It's all disjointed here. I tell him I've just arrived. I can't trust anyone, he says, moping. Those trees by the river, they weren't there yesterday.
Name and appearance, not appearance, name. Name.
The grass is disgusting, he says. I'll have the servants remove it. I used to tell my sister to tuck the cables under the desk. Keep the ugly buried. All that plumbing, all that machinery. He gives me people's names. It sounds like a command. Sarah. Sam. I infer they're gone. Maybe it's not just me who's asking about a lost one. I liked Sarah, he says. Now she's wandering the desert, singing the name of everything she passes.
I remember someone crossing in the desert, going past us.
I watched her cross the threshold of the barracks, he says. She was cocky, wearing her favorite boots. I saw her as a baby still.
Nothing.
He repeats that he can't trust anyone. He repeats that he can't trust anyone. He repeats.
Nothing. But they gave us something. You gave us nothing. And this is the other way to complete the loop. It is. And the guy here, it's the least helpful. This cabin is where the baker boy was. Flour.
Finely ground, speckled with ashes. Flour and greyish paste. Both rock hard and breaking down. Clay pots, frothy liquids and powders. This one's for baking, full of ashes and charred crust.
What was in this one? Oh, this one's the one with the masks. Oh, the other one is the one with the sewing machine.
Ancient furnace. Hasn't been fired in a long time. Could be, but I need proof.
Carpenter. Appearance and name. Are we asking everyone the name?
I know you, he says. Used to read all your articles. Sounds more like scorn than flattery. Under his breath, he calls me a traitor. Did I hear him right? You either live your culture or destroy it, he says. There is no in-between. A reporter's hunch. Some of these folks aren't worth my time.
All? All of them? This is with the sewing machine.
Weaver. Maybe. I'd need evidence.
I know, I'm looking for it. Stuck to the branch in the loop. People in the branch. So to get to the branching path, we go to the stretching mat and then this way. Bored girl, you'll go away.
What are you? She asks. I tell her I'm a reporter. A dog chasing her tail, she says. What's a reporter without news? I'm not sure. We shouldn't talk anymore, she says.
It's not what I asked.
We shouldn't talk anymore, she says.
Fine. Oh, I could give you the weird word. Maybe.
Her work. I can't tell if it's an alphabet. Mathematics? No, it's bigger than that, she stammers. I mentioned the word. Erdnak, she repeats, relishing the clacking consonant. Erd, she explains, was meant to sound harsh. In that context, it meant cooked or baked. Nak, she continues, was a shape. Rectangular, to be precise. So, a baked rectangle? That would make sense, she smiles.
Pizza. Rectangle pizza. I could even look it up in the guide since we've been through this. At this point, we are no, yeah, it's very unfriendly. This one?
This one's for baking. Full of ashes and charred crust. But what is the rectangle?
What was the rectangle? What was the rectangle? Wait a sec. Because I have about 20 minutes left. So I'll have a look at the guide so we can go straight. Because I want to go to this person I missed. University, Leo's place, train, Phoenix Spring. Okay, it works. Find the crying one. We found her. She thinks she's heard the name, but you must help her remember other things. Okay. Help the crying girl remember her craft. Talk to the crying girl about her craft. She mentions trying to burn her instructions. Find the burn instructions. We've been through them. And we get Ernak. Translate the instructions 1 out of 2. Head back towards the entrance of the Oasis and turn left. She mentions it's a baked rectangle. We got that. And then translate the instructions 2 out of 2. Find out what a baked rectangle is. Go back to the village. I think it's in the kiln that I. Oh yes, I remember. It's not a rectangle. It's a parallelepiped, also known as brick.
Would be right for baking, but it's empty except for crumbled bricks. Although, rectangular, baked. Is that what I'm after? Bricks.
So mason means
I should check with the girl.
brick.
Does she know how to bake bricks? 77% mud, she recites. 19 sand. 4% straw. A glint of recognition. Gratitude, even. I bake bricks, she affirms. I build bridges that break. Mason is the name I was given here. That is my craft.
Mason.
She's beginning to remember.
That's where I heard the name for the first time. But is it a name or is it the trade? She remembers her name is Mason. And then we go to the statues, as mentioned before. Starting to get darker. Mason. Her name is Mason. We go to the statues and then we pair Mason with the SON statue. Further and down. And this first one is Mason.
Doesn't feel like her, and yet the letters match her name. The trowel makes sense. Is that the same person? Let's see if it awakens anything in the girl.
And here, that's the person that draws in the sand. Appearance.
I talk and he appears to listen. Never utters a sound, but my words do get through to him. Does he know what the statue used to look like? His fingers dip in the sand. Elegant, clean strokes. He answers with a portrait. Is that the same person? Now his finger rises towards a white moon. The light changes. One of those night skies more solid than the earth itself. He's done here.
And there he goes. So now we have the name. We have the appearance. We kinda... Or the name means they are builder or brick maker. Could be referring to the architect at the end.
I never get to show her the portrait. The ritual begins. A mechanical march. I know exactly where it leads.
I don't. I do. I've been through this. But I didn't know at the time.
The heart of the oasis. It's all there, the smells and bells of worship. With none of the fervour. The congregation goes through the motions. I find myself neutered, toothless. Spectator of a sequence 100 times witnessed. In the face of violence, my mind wanders. The acoustics in the sanctum must be wide. Sound gives anesthetic in the eyes, and water has an oily quality. It rises and smells faintly of roses, washes my doubts away, dulling the edges, until only the sharpest shape remains. Leodorma, my little brother. This is the night I find him. After so many years apart.
Again. This is the moment where I thought for the first time that Iris
Affecting me.
is Leo.
An old man on his last breath.
An old man, but he is your little brother. Or maybe when you saw yourself for the first time as Leo was, you were a kid, and then you were turned into Iris. So you try to forget your past self, which was Leo Dormer. Dormer meaning sleeping, so it's no longer active. Because now it acts as Iris. I've seen this in a movie.
The night I learned everything about him.
Here, panic room.
He says he can't recognize his face. His heart grows heavy with regret. He begs me not to go. The words ring like a curse. Iris, he says. Don't go to Phoenix Springs.
But there, they are photographed together. Maybe that's hair construct. Yes, yes. Now when we cross Sarah, they said her name? Sarah?
Something about this specific formation. It's a gate, a portal. A tunnel that sucks me in. This is how I make it to the oasis. Green crater in the heart of the desert. Its gravity. It pulls me.
And this is the third act. And now we go to the burn tree. This is close to where we started today. We go to the burn tree, which is closer this way, I believe. Maybe not. And in the tree, we find the leaf. Look at.
White fingerprints stained the glass panel. Medium-sized hands. Flower. No gaps, buttons, or switches. It must lead underground. But how?
Underground. We're going deeper underground. There's too much panic in this town. And now we do everything about the baker. So the second act is about Mason, the brick maker. In between brackets, architect. And this third act is about baker boy. Baker. Also another type of baker. This is about food. Baking food, not bricks. Talk to baker boy.
Let me guess. He's the baker. That's not a guess, he says. The bread won't shape itself. Can't argue with that. I noticed flour on the lift. He whispers, "Is that where I left my memory?" I think he let it slip. An admission he's been under. I offer to fetch his memory for him. But what is it? No point, he says, if I don't even remember what it is.
Baker memory?
Forgetfulness. Repetition. Complex internal logic that solves very little. It's frustrating, but I feel compelled to help him.
Okay. And now we go to the oracle. I call that the oracle, but but is a musician. Keep circling around the oasis. More. Farther down. I feel like I'm going the longer way every time. And to the high cabin. High cabin. Here's the oracle. And we ask them about Baker.
She bows. Any requests? I have questions. A question is a request, she says.
Harsh truth. Baker memory, and then she
How do
mentions
I help Baker remember something?
the song.
A cluster of notes becomes a phrase. A ballad. Is this Baker's? I seem to recall. She nods. She's already recalling his ballad. She thanks me. What for? It's a privilege, she says, to spend time in there. Does she mean the music? Helmet? Head?
And then we have to remind
The musician
Iris.
played me a melody. Might help Baker with his memory. I hum it to myself.
But still not remember it. Again,
Baker's little tune. I remember how it goes now.
now you won't forget. That's a weird interaction. Because it doesn't change in the inventory. Saying that something's weird in this game. And we go back to the baker, and then we have access to the underground. Bit more. And Baker Boy is here. BB. Baker Boy. BB. Baker Ballad. You.
His melody. I hear it. I hum it. We used to play it on the beach, he says. That's the memory I've left below.
That's the memory I left below.
Peculiar creature. But I think he knows the way down.
I'll go the other way now. This is short. I was going the long way. More or less same. Here. So now we go down the lift.
Does he remember now? I remember now, he says. Unnumbered sublevels. I notice built upon layers. Automation without aim. Baker fidgets, gets on my nerves. Can you smell it, he asks. It reeks of the end. Haunted, planted on the spot. Scanning the photograph he picked up from the ground. Is that his memory? I shouldn't be here, he panics. Why would Mason choose this? I'm leaving for the sea. Off he goes again. Forever indecisive. Bouncing between locations. But the name, Mason, dormant inside of me. I've heard it before. A connection to Leo.
Oh, how do you know it's a connection to Leo? And we bring Mason.
M-A-S-O-N. Machinery whirs. A body is flushed out of ancient plumbing. Coils dig into my temples. It's working. The water amplifies. I am the antenna. We tune into each other's thoughts. Let's try the person, Mason. The image is fragmented at first. Thoughts congeal. I see it. A faint trace of personhood. We focus on our location. It triggers a strong response. I catch a flurry of linked ideas. A worksite. A flood. An architect. The sequence ends abruptly, as if halted.
And we don't have the silent one this time.
Two souls crammed into one skull. It's indecent.
We bring the architect. Now that you've remembered.
Anybody else up there? It's unpleasant in there, inhospitable. Like a great wall surrounds a vortex, the wall screams for me to crash against it. I visualize a worksite. The thought pierces through, unearths buried sediments, accreted over time. It calls for a name, but whose?
Mason again.
We see it now. It's too much. The vision trips something. But I extracted it. The missing piece, source of the torment. Mason's accident.
Mason's accident. Who is Mason? Why is this person so important? While is not my brother and not me. And what was the accident in the end? So we bring Mason again. And why the architect told us or remembered, gave us the clue about the accident. So Mason and architect are different people.
I bring Mason back out. Looks like we're back to the original loop. The self erased and reframed.
So there is an order for the terms now. Mason,
We rebuild the memory from the ground up. It starts with a person, Mason. I see it. A faint trace of personhood.
we had that before. Phoenix Springs again.
This place. We see the location clearly. Always triggers the same ideas. A work site. A flood. An architect.
Architect?
Who is the architect? Hard to determine. I feel like we both know. I sense great tenderness. The vision ends.
Maybe it's not literally an architect. Have a theory. If, maybe I'm making this up. If Leo Dormer transferred into Iris Dormer, the architect could be referring to the person who did the construction of Iris. So that was architect. What about the accident?
The accident shouldn't be survived. Life hangs by a thread, and yet the thread is respun. It is rebirth. The procedure. All these people around Mason. Our lives become entangled. That's why I'm in the room, covering it for the newspaper.
Reporter?
A strange mirror. Memories of me that aren't my own. Is that all they see? Is that all I am?
And Leo.
Remember now, something happens to me here. I become broken. An engine that only produces one question. But it is me. The reason his name lives on, I ask about Leo endlessly. I may not see the full picture. But I know exactly where to find it.
It.
How long have we been doing this? Years, decades, millennia. Maybe I should have left when I still had the chance.
And we are back in the island. Finally, I can go to the beach. And this is the part I missed. Island. So there is a radio and there is a fisher.
Crackling line. Connection to the mainland. He's focusing on the signal. The man is busy with it. Does he have a minute? Distress call. He's busy. I'll try him later.
What do you mean later? There is no later.
He's focusing on the signal. The man is busy with it. Fisherman's ferry. Not ready to leave yet. Somebody got what they wanted. Power, communication, a self-contained world.
So this is the end again. We cannot talk to the other person.
He asks if I feel better. Heard sobbing in the cabin. I'm fine, I tell him. I used to call it rainwater, he says. It would cheer up my granddaughter. A little rainwater never hurt anyone. I study the strangely lucid person next to me. Realize I've no idea who or what they are. And that for a brief moment, it's the lucidity that matters. Rivers, tears, the sea, he says. It's all the same stuff anyway. Water's a closed system. Sometimes revealed. Sometimes hidden away.
So we reached the end and in the end, and at the end, there was nothing to do with, as I expected, nothing to do with this person we missed talking to. Now that I've seen more concentrated, I can't skip the credits because we've already seen them. No? Now that in the second playthrough I've seen everything condensed and faster, with less walking around trying to put all the pieces together, which makes it harder to understand the story. Seeing in this more everything packed and concentrated without knowing, because I'm not 100% sure, and I don't think maybe no one can be 100%. My take on the story before I close Phoenix Spring story. This will be the end of the stream and the playthrough. I believe most of the inputs that I get are telling me that this story is about the transition, gender transition between Leo Dormer and Iris. But I can't put all the pieces together. That's my overall arc. It's talking about that, about gender transition. But I don't understand everything. First, because there are things in the game that I can't translate into you are saying this, but you mean something else. And second, because I haven't been through this experience myself, I haven't lived it, it's not possible for me to understand. And even two different people who have been through the process, transition process, they would tell different stories. I'm sure they had different experiences. Like one person went through the transition. Maybe I'm inventing everything. One person went through the transition and got the support of their family. That experience is different from another person who got through the transition or maybe didn't get to go through the process, and or because of didn't have the support of their family. So it's the same story, but it's different story at the same time. So how would someone who hasn't been through that would understand? Maybe it completely doesn't have to do anything with transition. But that's what I'm getting. It's like you were Leo Dormer, and then you transferred into Iris. As Iris, you forgot or tried to forget about your past because you were canceling it. So Leo Dormer is telling you, don't remember me because you don't want me. Live your life. And Mason is not the architect, it's the surgeon that made the transition. It's expressed as a builder or as an architect in the way that it is a maker. You've made me be. You took Leo and you built Iris out of Leo. That's what I take Phoenix Spring. Phoenix is rebirth, so it's like you are born again. You were born as Leo, you are born again as Iris. So you have been reborn. That's the idea of the Phoenix. And spring is like the season, which in many cases means a new beginning. It's a new start of a new cycle, like spring, summer, autumn, winter, and spring again. It's when the flowers bloom and everything turns green, and there is a new beginning until everything turns brown and the leaves fall and there's winter and then spring again. So phoenix and spring is reiterative concept. It's rebirth and a new beginning. That's all I understand. The closest that I am to making sense of all this. And I will definitely now start looking for theories. Maybe check if I am right, or if I am right, what else am I missing? So let me go back to here. Since this is the end of the stream, haven't looked to any information because I wanted to have my own understanding of the story without bias. I appreciate having been through the second and having been through the second in such a short amount of time, so I could see all the important scenes together. There are many things I still don't understand. All these people in Phoenix Spring seem to me like they are people who, the crying ones. The crying ones are people who don't feel like themselves. They, like, maybe they want to go through the transition. Maybe they realize. That's the crying one, crying as in, I'm not happy. I don't know. Maybe I come back next day or after I can look it up and I'll tell you, hey, people think same as me and I was right. Or maybe completely different. Like, everything I said, scrap it. I came up with a theory that it could match, but it didn't match didn't pull all the threads and put them together, so it meant nothing. And someone else did better job than I did, so we'll find out next time. For now, I want to thank you, because this is the end. I want to thank you for sharing your time with me today and during Phoenix Springs playthrough. I hope to see you next time, which will be on Thursday with more Reliquia Park. Hopefully I can make sense of the puzzle, the last for the 5th path, and we can see the end. Thanks as well for everyone watching. Hope to see you next time. Until then, don't be puzzled. Bye now.